Hello, Trump supporters. These are my top 5 favorite Joe Biden moments so far. Now, there's been a lot of content, a lot of things to choose from. And by the way, don't expect when he told that New York radio DJ, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black." Don't expect that to be in this list, because it won't be, because that is not one of my favorite moments at all. It's a despicable example of exactly what is wrong with our country right now. The left is so obsessed with race and gender. It's sickening. If you're a college-educated white woman, this is how you're going to vote. If you're Hispanic, this is what you should do. If you're an uneducated older white male, this is how you're going to vote. It is absolutely sickening, the stereotyping that goes on. And by the way, if you go straight from high school to a job, probably manual labor, difficult job because you have to support a family, live on your own, that is life experience, okay? When these kids go straight to college and they're being taught who knows what by these morally corrupt college professors, who's getting more life experience, okay? And by the way, just because you're good at school doesn't mean you're good at life. In fact, a lot of people who are good at school aren't good at life, okay? Now, of course, there's exceptions. There's some individuals that they're good at school and they're good at life, and there's some people that just suck at everything. But the individual that has to go straight from high school to the workforce, okay, these are people that are getting life experience right away, and they're learning a lot about real world issues. And if Trump is dominating in that sector of individuals, then he should be honored to have that vote, is what should happen. He should be honored. Okay. Now, there's individuals with master's degrees that are voting for Trump. There's individuals who drop out of high school that are going to vote for Biden. It's sickening, the stereotyping that's going on by the left, and it's everything that's wrong with our country right now. So you are not going to see that example where he made that despicable comment amongst these 5 moments. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button. There's going to be epic videos coming up. It's going to be awesome, God willing, and enjoy these 5. All right, at number 5, we have Joe Biden forgetting what he said 2 minutes earlier in the debate. Since he never takes questions whenever he does a speech, I guess this is the closest thing we're going to get to it. It is hilarious.
And I know that the problem with your plan is that it leaves 10 million people uncovered. Now, on the last debate stage in Detroit, you said that wasn't true. When Senator Harris brought that up, there was a fact check of that, and they said that was true. But the difference between what I support and what you support, Vice President Biden, is that you require them to opt in. And I would not require them to opt in. They would automatically be enrolled. They wouldn't have to buy in. That's a big difference, because Barack Obama's vision was not...
Look at his face. He has no idea what this guy's talking about.
To leave 10 million people uncovered. He wanted every single person in this country covered. My plan would do that. Your plan would not.
They do not have to buy in. They do not have to buy in.
You just said that. You just said that 2 minutes ago. You just said 2 minutes ago that they would have to buy in. You said they would have to buy in.
If you qualify
are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago?
Are you forgetting
already what you said just 2 minutes ago? I mean, I can't believe that you said 2 minutes ago that they had to buy in, and now you're saying they don't have to buy. You're forgetting that.
I said anyone like your grandmother who has no money.
He's got so called out on that. Forgot what he said 2 minutes ago. It's classic.
You're automatically
enrolls people regardless of whether they choose to opt in or not.
All right, number 4. I don't even know what to say about this, except that if President Trump had done this, he would have been absolutely excoriated by the media. So, just an unbelievable moment.
And the crew that follows me can tell you, there's not one line I go through that I don't have at least a half a dozen people come up and hug me and say, "Can you help me? I just lost my daughter 10 days ago. Can you help me? Tell me I'm going to be okay. Can you help me? I just lost," and they go and lay out their problems. A little kid who says, I can't talk. What do I do? I have scores of these young women.
Is that really necessary to do that imitation? You can't just say, there was a little kid who had a terrible stutter. You have to do the imitation.
Keep in contact with.
All right, this is very telling when he said the truth over facts, because the left is so obsessed. Again, they're obsessed with their feelings and what they believe to be the truth as opposed to paying attention to the facts and the data. And he says it right here.
Everybody knows who Donald Trump is. Even the supporters know who he is. We got to let them know who we are. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. And so, folks,
let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. That is so good.
Unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. And so, folks, if you're interested, join me. I could use the help.
Yeah, he sure could use some help. Now, this one is awesome. This is the legend of the story of Corn Pop. This is fantastic. If you haven't heard it, it's hilarious.
I learned a lot. And I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and there was a 3-meter board. And if you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off." Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There's a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic.
Yeah, he was the only white guy. He was the mechanic. So, in case you haven't followed this so far, apparently Joe Biden was a lifeguard at this recreational facility. There was a gang leader there who went by the name of Corn Pop, and he went on the diving board, it seems, and he didn't have the right, he had stuff in his hair like the pomade or whatever he called it. He didn't have the cap on, so Joe Biden threw him out or kicked him out, and he was waiting outside with his friends with razor blades. That's what's happened so far, apparently.
And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Come down here in the basement where mechanics, where all the pool filter is. You know, the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He pulled up, he said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You're kidding me." He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, in those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember those days when he used to bang them on the curb to get them rusty.
Remember the straight razor? You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, "You apologize to me?" I said, "I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay," closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again.
So apparently, this guy was gravely insulted that he used his real name. It didn't call him Corn Pop, and Joe Biden goes out with a chain that the mechanic gave him and was prepared to fight him. And he apologized. He didn't apologize for throwing him out. He apologized for calling him his real name, apparently, and the guy accepted the apology. And that's the story. Really fulfilling. Okay, this is my number one favorite moment so far. Joe Biden's virtual rally, just an absolute train wreck.
Please welcome Vice President Biden.
Look at him. What's he doing?
Introduce me. Alan? Hey, good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in.
So look. In addition to the technical issues, the bad sound, I mean, already it's hard to understand Joe Biden. But the combination of the technical issues and the bad sound, and by the way, what kind of level of incompetence do you have to have on your staff to not have someone to be able to do a live stream correctly? I mean, just call Best Buy, have the Geek Squad do it or something. They'll do a good job. How incompetent must you be? And pay attention to the birds. The birds, the noise of the birds is hilarious. The combination of everything in here is just so funny.
Could have done this together and it gone a little more smoothly, but I'm grateful we're able to connect virtually, and thank you for your constant and quick work that you and the Nurses Association are doing to meet this moment. You know, as we speak tonight, more than 75 Americans have lost their lives now. The toll is so immense, it can be hard for us to truly grasp the scale of the tragedy. You know, this is because more of that is breaking. I think how much fear, how much loss, how much act could have been avoided.
Under normal conditions, it's hard to understand what he's saying. Under normal conditions.
President Trump wasted so much time getting started. But Trump was warned more than a dozen times to take action, to lead with urgency. And more than 33 million of firefighter women dreamed up at the kitchen table, fought for it, made real. Barely a word of empathy, of responsibility, of regret. You know, we should be designing our economic response to avoid these desperate outcomes. You know, that they're supposed to be helping. You know, that we are as Americans. Big-hearted, selfless, raised to challenge. And we have to be strong and resilient.
They can't shut the window. The birds are going absolutely nuts. No one does anything about it. It's freaking hilarious.
We have to have a strong and resilient safety net to keep us going in hard times. No, our view may be limited to the base of our device. See what I see. Because even we're separated.
No wonder he's only got 40 people watching his freaking live streams.
The enduring difference, even through all communities, will not be broken. Our country will not by this pandemic, not by anything, as long as we stay united. America, tough, resilient, resourceful.
Listen at the end here. The birds go absolutely nuts. It's perfect timing.
This, we can come out the other side so stronger, so much kinder, so much closer, more resilient. We've never been before. You need to remember we're the United States of America. Nothing we cannot accomplish if we work together. Come this November, we're going to prove it. Thank you. Thank you all for being moving. And God bless you all, and may God protect our country.
Oh man, I find that to be so amusing. It shows the level of incompetence, not only on him personally, but on everyone around him. Look, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button. We got epic videos coming up. God bless.